Alright, welcome back everyone to our Red Dead Online Every Horse series. This is the Bay Morgan. When I started this video, I actually wasn't intending for it to rain, but I'm not too upset with it just because I feel like the rain makes any horse's coat look great. Kind of makes it glisten a little bit in the light. And this horse has a super pretty coat, kind of a like bronzish color. This is, like I said, the Bay Morgan. Before I forget quickly, I'm just going to go over the stats for the Morgans. Again, their base stats, they're 2 health, 3 stamina, 3 speed, 2 acceleration, and once when they reach max bonding or level 4 bonding, it's a 5 health, 6 stamina, 6 speed, and 4 acceleration. I did a male again this time, just kind of still trying to test the genders to see if that affects anything at all. And I named it Whiskey. I feel like that's an appropriate name for its color. I picked Valentine, and I actually plan to do a... let's actually lead the horse. That's not a terrible idea. I actually plan to do a bounty here. I picked to record this one in Valentine's area. As you guys know, I try to pick an area of the map that I feel like matches the horse well. I picked Valentine because Valentine is just, in my mind, a pretty quintessential, or I don't know if that's the right word, I guess a pretty typical Western town. If I mean, I obviously didn't live back then, but when I picture the Wild West, or you know, the late 1800s, I picture a town like this. And as well as that, I picture people riding pretty regular looking horses, and the Bay Morgan is as regular as they come. A brownish colored coat, or a bay coat with a black mane, a little bit of white coloring on its nose. Yeah, so picked this area just because I thought it looked super great. I do plan on coming over here and doing a bounty really quickly, hopefully, as I give my thoughts on the horse. So actually, this is shortly after I posted the last video. This is actually over the same weekend that I posted the last video. I've been playing Red Dead a lot, so I was able to get this one to max bonding. So I'm actually hoping to have this video out a little bit before the time frame I set for myself, before Friday, but I'm keeping in mind to not try to do too many videos to get ahead of myself. So yeah, let me come over here and start this bounty. But I was able to get this horse to max bonding super quick, so I just thought I want to move on to the next horse. So let's go ahead and finish up the video for this one. I'm kind of risking it a little bit by doing the video here in Valentine, just because this is a really popular area for players. So I run the risk of being griefed. So let's start this bounty and get out of here. Switch my guns up. Okay, here we go. Sweet. So I kind of, looking at the Morgans, before I purchased this one and before I purchased the previous one, I was kind of cycling through the different coats of Morgans. And something that's kind of frustrating is there are coats of horses that are available in single player that aren't available in online. And one of those coats is a brownish colored coat for the Morgan that I think is the best looking. I know it's called like liver or something, but yeah, I love that coat. So it's kind of disappointing that it's not in online. As well as there's a buttermilk buckskin horse that is available in single player that's not available in online. I think it's either Tennessee Walker or Kentucky Saddler. It's one of the common riding horses, but yeah, so I wish those horses were available. But as I was cycling through the Morgan horses, looking at the coats, I was just trying to figure out which one it is I think is my favorite. And I think that this one, the Bay one, or the one that I'm going to be doing in the next video, are my favorite ones, just because of their kind of just regular brown colored horses, but they look pretty common. But maybe it just helps with my immersion, and I mentioned that in the last video that it's kind of unrealistic to have people riding around on, everyone has an Arabian, or everyone has like a Ardennes or a Breton, or some foreign type of horse that's just this massive cool looking horse that the developers put in the game just so that we had different breeds of horses, but not necessarily for realism. So I guess the Morgans help me kind of immerse a little bit more in the game, so maybe that's why I like them quite a bit. But just so I'm not trying to talk over the shooting, I'm just going to kind of snag the bounty real quick. So I'm going to go quiet and just let you kind of listen to the gameplay while I do this. Well, instead of fighting with them still, I think I'm gonna try to get out of here as quick as I can. If my horse can get its butt over here. There we go. Oh, crap. So, that was actually something that I wanted to discuss on the way back was, I guess, this specific horse. So, the more, and I hate that I'm saying this, but the more that I've ridden the Morgans, the more that I realize why it is considered the worst horse in the game. I hate saying that because I'm gonna avoid this player's camp right here. I do hate saying that because I do enjoy the Morgans. They help, like I said, with my realism in the game, you know, help me to immerse myself a little bit better. I think nobody rides them, so riding them, people kind of have to maybe take a second look to figure out what it is that you're riding, because it's not a common horse like, you know, a lot of the other ones that players ride. But, and I guess I'll see as I do the last two Morgans in the series, but the more that I've ridden this horse, the more I've realized, yeah, why it's considered the worst horse in the game. It's super skittish, as you saw with what was going on back there. I was whistling for it, but every time it was shot, it would rear back and then take off running. I know that it's not the only horse in the game that will do that, but there are horses that even when you are being shot at trying to load a bounty onto the horse, it will still stay right there with you. But the Morgans just take off. This has been, it happened with the previous Morgan that I did as well, but this one as well has been a horse that I have had to revive more than any of the other horses that I've done. It doesn't do well against predators. I thought with the last horse that it was maybe just when it was in the water with some alligators, but it was actually with any type of predators. I've been bucked off of this horse quite a few times. So I guess I love this horse for the way that it looks. I love it for the realism aspect of this game, you know, picking a type of horse that you would see, you know, during this time frame. And I like it as far as just riding it around goes. It's not slow by any means. It's not, you know, it's obviously not fast, but it's not slow, it's not weak. It's a good horse, but when it comes to combat and predators, it just does not get it done. So yeah, I guess let me turn this guy in real quick and I'll give my kind of closing thoughts.
Do each their due. Money's on the table.
I'm actually just gonna ride up to the top of that bluff right there while I do this. So yeah, my final thoughts, like I said, just barely kind of recapping what I said. I love the horse for the way it looks. I love it for realism's sake. I think it's cool to use just different types of horses that you don't see very often, but when it comes to predators, when it comes to combat, the horse is just super lackluster. I don't think it's a horse that I'm gonna keep in the stable at all. I think there are horses in this series that I will do that I think will kind of earn a permanent spot in my stable, but I don't think the Morgans are gonna be any of those horses. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see as the last two. Maybe I'll fall in love with one of the last two Morgans, but I don't think that they're gonna make the cut. So yeah, this has been the Bay Morgan. Like I said, I'm trying to cut these videos down. I'm at 10 minutes again, so not cutting it down a whole bunch, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Any type of feedback, you know, your comments I love to read. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this going. I actually am gonna post this video as soon as I have it edited and ready to go, and then I'll still have another video on Friday, if not one potentially sooner than that as well. I have a lot of horses to do in this series. I have a long way to go in this series, so I think that trying to do it every Friday, we probably won't be done until next year. So I'm gonna try to, even though my minimum goal is every Friday, I'm gonna try to maybe do them a little bit more than that. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.